fugitive drifter, a disgraced knight condemned by the Sanctists. What couldn't they pin on me? They cast me out, stripped my titles, and put a price on my head. They would even refuse me the right to mourn my child.
And thus, you held back against us, didn't you? You never intended to take our lives. Or perhaps you could not bring yourself to kill a young man.
Just didn't want to make a mess I'd have to clean up.
What do you think? Is Heisme really our kidnapper?
I don't think he's the culprit.
I agree. That being said, it is also hard to imagine the town maintaining a groundless bounty so faithfully. It was the Holy Lady who named the price, and the guard captain who thereby took it to the capital. To end this as a case of mistaken identity would disgrace their word.
You think they must have had a reason to suspect him then? So, what's really going on here?
Sounds to me like between the Guard Corps and Heisme, one of them could be lying. Remember when we first arrived? We almost got killed by a beast they told us would be asleep.
You cannot be suggesting the Guard Corps set us up. Absurd! No, it defies all reason. They went to such lengths to place the request.
So you think I'm the one lying, do you?
Like I said, we don't make assumptions. If there's anything else you know, we're listening.
You're a strange lot. Fine. Investigate this as you see fit. And if you think I'm guilty by the end of it, put me in chains. What's the matter? Never tied up a captive before?
Give it a rest, old man. You'll make a better guide than a captive. Otherwise, the human makes a meal of us, and nobody wins.
A strange lot indeed. And... oh, my God, a foul-smelling one to boot.
Ugh, don't remind me. Sorry, but you'll have to bear with us.
Don't mind me.
If the charges prove false, you should be cleared. Still, we'll have to find a new head to be judged for the competition.
Then we'll just find whoever's actually behind it and have their head instead. Let's contact Barden tomorrow, but we'll keep quiet about Heisme. Can't tell if we can trust the guardsman yet.
What are we going to do with Heisme tonight? We can't exactly set him up at the inn.
Steady on! You're not leaving me to watch our bounty alone!
Fine. Then Nurus and I can both watch him tonight. Better us than risking our candidate, I suppose.
Never would have guessed that the bounty hunting was part of this plan to take the throne. And further, you've a Lady of the Knighthood with you. Not to mention command of a gauntlet runner. I sense there's more to this story,
The truth is, we're going after Luis.
Luis, the monstrous child himself, eh? So you're not just grasping at power. You've got convictions. But now the throne's in anyone's reach, eh? Suppose the king's magic wasn't just a myth. Well, hardly matters to an old codger like me. No telling if I'll even live to see the next king crowned.
This is all jolly cheerful. And I'm to be stuck between these two old goats the whole night.
Don't blame me, lad. You volunteered.
Those are some sharp ears. We should probably watch our words in here. Hey!
bunch of shite, this has.
Good night.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
I dreamed we were being chased around by a horde of giant sandworms. I hope Heisme behaved himself in the Gauntlet Runner. We should go check on him later. We also need to get some information out of Barden.
Are you awake? Barden just sent word. A few children disappeared in the night.
Wait, but Heisme's in the Gauntlet Runner, right? If he's still bound there, that basically proves he's innocent. But if he's not, we need to get to the runner, quick! Where's Stroll?
Speak, man. Are you all right? Where's Heisme? What happened here? Oh, he reeks of alcohol. Neurus, you old sot, don't tell me you drank yourself to sleep.
Heisme was blathering on about some things I found rather unnerving. So I had a little sup of the spirits to calm the nerves.
Wow, what a mess.
You witless... Maybe some cold water will wake you up, and if that water's not fixed yet, you're really in it! Ah!
Now, what's all the commotion?
Ah, that was it! He kept scaring me, so I stuffed him into the lavatory to shut him up.
He says that like it makes sense. Does it make sense to you?
Not in the slightest.
Anyway, one thing's for sure. Heisme was tied up the whole time, so he never set foot outside, right?
What's all this about frightening Neurus? I cannot imagine you suddenly felt compelled to share ghost stories.
I heard some strange sounds last night. I could tell they were footsteps, but not any I recognized. If it had anything to do with the disappearance of the residents, it could prove my innocence. That's why I spoke up.
I don't think he's lying. With all that fog, I couldn't find the source of the footsteps, but I found plenty of something else. Children's shoes. It was after midnight. No time for children to be out and about. I had the shoes checked at the guard station, and it looks like they belong to the missing children.
Then 'tis likely those footsteps belong to your true culprit.
But the guard said no one left town last night.
Nobody left? But that must mean the culprit is...
Inside the town?
Logically, yes.
If that's the case, I'd like to talk to Barden, but how much of this should we share with him?
If you ask me, it's time to lay out all you know. Taking me with you might help your case, too.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. To bring you before the very man responsible for the bounty on your head? I trust I need not illustrate the risk.
Risk or not, the real culprit's likely one of their own. If you hide me, they'll accuse you of harboring a known criminal. You all had it right. It's time I faced reality. A life on the run leaves no room for me to truly mourn my son.
Heisme.
Whatever the case, let's meet with Barden.
Well, I must say I couldn't hope you'd capture him so swiftly.
Something wrong? You don't look well. Got a face like you've just stumbled upon a dead man.
No, it's nothing. Just surprised you caught him.
Aye, you have my thanks. Clearly we were right to trust you. You'll get your payment in full.
Before that, I want to ask you one question. Why was Heisme the only suspect in this case?
One of the guard witnessed him firsthand. Go on, Morris, tell him.
On the night of the kidnappings, I spotted a Ujif bolting into the wilderness. Several times. No mistaking a squat figure like that. I'm telling you, what are the chances of there being 2 Ujif brigands in the area?
What did you say?
Strange. I don't recall the kidnapper's tribe being listed on the bounty poster. Even the captain seemed surprised, yet you alone knew this.
He's obviously our culprit.
Most strange. Haisme was already in our custody yesterday. In other words, the kidnappings of last night cannot be his doing.
Is this true?
Captain, I'm one of yours, aren't I? You're not gonna trust this little red-eyed bastard over me, are you?
There's also the testimony from the guard at the gate. He reported no one coming or going from the city.
You scabby bounty hunters think you can mock the guard corps like this? Just take your damn blood money and get the hell out of here!
Fine, fine. Keep your hair on. We'll get to the bottom of this eventually.
Is there a problem here? Pardon, may I interrupt?
No problem, ma'am.
Was that? Did you hear it, lad?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Now I see your game, you fiends.
What? He's gone!
Haisme!
Find him! Secure the exits! Don't let him escape!
No good. He's nowhere to be found. What's gotten into Haisme?
I got the impression he sensed something. If he'd meant to escape, he would have done it yesterday.
I think Barden's innocent in all this. The real scumbag here is Morris, his second in command. He framed Haisme with a false eyewitness testimony. Must have figured an exiled Ujif would be a perfect scapegoat.
So Morris, a would-be guard of the people, has been kidnapping the residents and selling them off.
Could be. And there's also those footsteps that old Haisme heard in the night.
Nuris is bound to have sobered up by now, right? Let's see how things are outside and get back to the runner.
Are you coherent yet? I didn't take you as the sort to fall so hard into your cups.
Well, an icy bath like that would freshen anyone up.
And tell us again what happened last night. It may be our only clue to tracking down the real culprit.
Bloody hell. Yes, it's coming back a bit. It wasn't just Haisme's reports that shook me. No, I saw something. It was right after I slung Haisme into the bathroom. Out the window, I saw some massive shadow moving through the fog. It wasn't any beast or man of this world. It was a dark messenger, I tell you. A specter from the very bowels of hell. It was like the horrors of every fairy story from my schoolboy days sprung to Stygian life. I was shaken, chums. Shaken to my core. I cried out for help, grabbed for something to steady myself, and all I found was the bottle.
There. You're all right now.
Even if there is some monster behind this, how would it connect with Morris? I don't see why he would be compelled to hide this to the extent of framing Haisme.
True. Let's try investigating the lady's old castle. Haisme's bound to have a reason for bolting off like that.
Fie. Evidently.
Huh?
Got to say,
What folly. The truth is,
it's absurd.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm in your debt.
And so? But then... Is that right then?
Isn't that...
What is it?
All right then. All right then.
Ready?
Let's go.
However...
Keep your wits about you.
Come on, get the bait moving already. That thing goes out of control. We'll be dinner.
You can't run from us!
Please. Help.
The child yet lives.
Out of your jurisdiction now, aren't you? You're trespassers down here. And that means anything that happens to you is your own damn fault.
If you've got something to say it to our faces. Even you must feel the weight of what you've done.
Eyes up. Something stirs in the back.
Are these the monsters we heard about?
No. Further back. 'Tis the footsteps in the night.
The bigger that beast back there grew, the more its watchdogs started changing with it. One of them's gonna make a meal of it.
What has been happening here? Why do you kidnap the residents?
Why? Because premium bait's worth a fortune. I couldn't live on the wages of a guardsman forever.
You kidnap children for money? You utter scum!
This from a bloody-eyed Eugene. Look to your own sins, sir. You weren't just stripped of your knighthood. You were exiled. You're a coward who's been living in the hole you deserve. Didn't pretend you can play at justice now. You vile!
No, 'tis true in part. 'Tis why I stand here now. I ran from my past and turned away from my pain. You prey on innocent lives. Your sin will be repaid. Yet I cannot condemn you alone. Not when I could not see past my own suffering. Not when I locked myself away to be alone with my pain!
O lodestar, who falters in memory, O thou anguished traveler. Thy long stagnant stance hath finally been broken. Now choose thy path.
Choose? My choice is already made.